We're going to record the meeting, so we want to let you know that this meeting is being recorded so you can also see it afterwards. If you miss something, you can view it later. You get an email with a link to the recording, as well as you'll get an email with a waiver code, so you can use that to get a discount on, or not a discount, I think the full application fee will be waived as thank you for attending this webinar and learning more about our admissions process. All right, so if everyone can hear me and see the slides fine, we will get started. So that's me, I'm Liam Anderson, Assistant Dean of the School of Undergraduate Studies. We've got our enrollment team, Claudine, Abigail, Victoria, Ben, and also Kendra. So they're going to be supporting you in your enrollment process as you figure out kind of which degree program works for you and answering any of your questions about for transfer credits or ADTs or any of those details or financial aid as well. So this is kind of our team. This is our agenda today. So we're going to talk about why come to Golden Gate University, the different degree programs that we have and the schedules for completing those, the course schedules, the different student services we have for working learners such as yourselves, transfer pathways, different ways you can bring in credits from other institutions to kind of expedite your degree completion. We're going to go through the application process and then how you kind of register for your first courses here. Talks a little bit about financial aid and paying for your degree. And then at the end, we will have time for Q&A. But if you have to leave for any reason or you're not able to stay for the entire presentation, it should take about 20-25 minutes. We welcome you to go ahead and ask your question in the chat window. And someone from our enrollment team can answer it so you don't have to wait till the end of the presentation if you're in a rush. One other thing, please, if you have a mic, please make sure you click mute on your Zoom mic so that we don't pick up any background noise, we don't hear any noise like dogs barking and stuff like that. All right, so why choose Golden Gate University? So we've been dedicated to teaching adult learners for over 100 years. We have options for students who are looking for a degree to complete their degree, or also non-degree seeking students, for example, certificates we also have, so we'll talk about those. One of our key kind of value adds is our practitioner faculty. So these are people, professionals who are working usually in companies in the Bay Area, and they are then coming to teach students at GGU. So they'll bring in that real world experience kind of from the company into the classroom. Our class schedules are really, really flexible. This is one thing that we're really proud to have so many options for you to take your classes. You can take them online in person or a hybrid of the two, and we'll talk about what that means in a bit. And we have very affordable tuition. As a new student, you are eligible for an undergraduate grant of 30% off. And if you're bringing in credits from other institutions, you can also be eligible for additional tuition discounts. Finally, our alumni network is pretty sizable, 70,000 almost around the country. A lot of them are in the Bay Area. So one thing we are proud of is our continued ranking as best school for adult learners by Washington Monthly. So they have a ranking they do every year, and they look at things like how easy it is to enroll in programs, the flexibility of transferring credits from other institutions, the available services for adult learners such as yourself, the percent of students who are 25 and above, the mean earnings of students after they leave the program, or 10 years after entering college and leaving the program, loan repayment rate, 5 years after entering repayment, the tuition fees, which are very competitive for the market. Oops. And before I go on to the next one, I wanted to say don't take our word for it. You know, go to the Washington Monthly site. You can also see on our website other accolades that we have achieved in our service to students such as yourself. All right, I wanted to also talk about kind of what's a typical GGU student look like. You know, where do they come from? What kind of experience do they bring in, and where do they go after they finish their degree? So one, Angelina, graduated with a Bachelor's of Arts in Management. That's called BAM, and her concentration was in marketing. So she had come to GGU with 60 units, which is an ADT, Associate Degree for Transfer. While she was here, she was working part-time in our marketing department, so she was getting experience while she was taking classes here. After she graduated, she got a digital marketing job as an automation specialist. And she was promoted a couple times, and now I think she's got a management position at another digital marketing firm called Hearsay Systems. All right, so Danielle is another student. So she did the Bachelor's of Science in Business, that's BSB, concentration in accounting. So she, before coming to Golden Gate University, she was working in the hospitality industry. She was doing work for a CPA, Certified Public Accountant, while she was taking classes here. And then after graduating, she got a job as a manager, accounting manager, working for a cannabis company. And her goal is to go for her CPA license. And she's got, through her degree, has reached almost the number of credits you need to do to sit for the CPA. All right, so those are kind of two snapshots of GGU students and their pathway through the university. So now I wanted to talk about what are our degrees and certificates. All right, so our degree programs, we've got 6 of them. So the Bachelor's of Arts in Management, we have, is kind of the more soft skills focused business degree, and you're able to kind of use that soft skills focus, for example, organizational behavior, communications for managers. You're going to be working in an organization, and maybe you don't want to have as much focus on the quantitative aspects of business. So a lot of students choose this also because you're able to transfer in a lot of credits to this degree. If you're bringing a lot of credits, it's definitely one you want to look at. And you have the option of 5 different concentrations. So there's HR, information technology, psychology, marketing, and public administration. So the Bachelor of Science in Business is a little different because it kind of focuses more on the quantitative aspects of business. It does more of a dive into the different functions of business, such as marketing, finance, accounting. So you get kind of a deeper dive into what are the different aspects of running a business. So you have a really broad picture of that. And you also have more options of concentrations. So you can get a concentration in accounting, data analytics, HR, IT, international business, marketing, operations and supply chain, psychology, and public administration. So that's one kind of different ways to look at those 2 degrees. So then we have 4 more specialized degrees. We have the Bachelor's of Science in Data Analytics, Bachelor's of Arts in Organizational Leadership and Human Skills Development. So these are 2 of our newest degrees, and they've been really developed in conjunction with local business leaders to really focus on giving students that skill set that's necessary for organizations in the 21st century in terms of working in teams, dealing with constant change like we're dealing with right now in the pandemic, and using data and information to make really informed decisions. So these are all kind of things companies in the Bay Area and beyond say are really important. And so we've kind of developed these degrees to serve that market need. And we also have accounting and psychology. So GGU has a traditional strength in these areas. So we also have these degrees because they continue to be popular with many students. So if you're not interested in a full degree and you just want to upskill in a specific area, or you want to kind of try an area out, certificates are a good way to do that. So we have a number of certificate programs. You can see the list there. And I'm not going to go into each one, but go ahead and ask your enrollment counselor about those. Some of them are more flexible than others. Some require you to take specific courses in the field. Others allow you to choose of a number of different courses that are interesting to you in that field. So you can check out our website or ask your enrollment counselor to go into more depth on those. All right, so at GGU, we don't only do courses, we also have events which are kind of communicating to the community of GGU, you know, bringing in different subject matter experts to talk about some of the really pressing topics facing our society. And so we have these events. The website is called GGU Presents. There's the link down there. And so we post events regularly. There's usually at least a few every month. And so here you can see some examples of some. There's one about using big data and AI for tracking and monitoring during the pandemic. So that's a professor, Sia. He also released a paper on this topic. So we are also, creating knowledge and trying to get our, faculty practitioners, their insights and their advice, and, they put it out there through these different types of presentations and the papers they post. So anyone can register for these events. You don't have to be a student or an alumni. You just go to the GGU Presents website, click on the link, and you'll be able to register and attend those on Zoom like we're doing right now. So definitely check that out. All right, so back to our schedule. So most of our courses are, let's back up. All of our courses now are online, right? So we're in a unique time where all universities around the country are doing courses online. So that's going to be true throughout the summer. It's likely in the fall that we will also have courses primarily online, though we haven't had an official announcement what the fall semester will look like. So as soon as we know, we'll be able to say with certainty whether or not all of our courses will be online in the fall. So during the time when we have in-person courses, those are usually offered Monday through Thursday in 2 different time slots, 4 to 6:30, 6:50 to 9:30 p.m. And a couple courses are offered on Saturday mornings as well. So in the sense that now these courses are online, what happens is, it's just that during those times, the courses are being taught on Zoom. So you would be logging into Zoom, for example, at Monday at 4 p.m. for the in-person courses. And that will be continue to go like that until we are able to reopen the campus for courses. So the online courses are online asynchronous, meaning they're flexible time. And that means you don't need to be online at any specific time. You log in multiple times during each week. You read the assignments and posts from the instructor. You'll probably have discussion boards that you need to post replies to and then reply to your classmates. There'll be videos, there'll be different activities, there'll be different files to read. So all of that is happening on our e-learning platform. And that's your portal of engagement with the rest of the class, and also where you submit all your assignments. And then we have what we call either blended or mixed modes. So this is kind of a hybrid of online and in-person, or as we say now, online and synchronous and online asynchronous. So it's combining some of the flexible time online experience, as I just described, as well as some synchronous live experience where you're going to be on Zoom like we are now, talking with your instructor, listening to a lecture, participating in a discussion. So you'll have that combination of some community building engagement in a live format, and then the rest of the class will be asynchronous. So if you have a busy schedule, you're not required to be online at a specific time. So usually a mixed mode course, for example, will meet twice for each course. So it could be at the beginning and the end, or the beginning and the middle. It depends on the course. I'm just going to pause if anyone has any questions and see if there's any in the chat that need to be answered. All right. And there's a question from Mary Liu. Yeah, you said you're interested in BA Psych for the fall, and you're a retired vet, and approved to use your Chapter 35 educational benefit. Okay. I'm going to say I don't know too much about Chapter 35, so I'm going to let someone from our enrollment team answer that. But thank you for the question. All right, so let's take a look at our student resources. So we've kind of put together resources that are, not stuff that students don't need, because we're not a campus that has a sports team and a swimming pool. So these are resources that just kind of serve working adults, so they only, get the resources that they need to succeed while they're here. So we've got academic advising, and this is maybe one of the most important, because you'll have an advisor who's assigned to you for your entire time at GGU, and you'll have a meeting with them at the beginning. And this meeting is really going to kind of map out your whole degree program in terms of what you need to take and when. You tell them about any, difficult things you're juggling in life, and they can kind of maybe point you in the direction of other services that we have. So they're kind of your point person for a lot of our services, and you'll meet them after you matriculate and complete registration. Our career services department is putting on a lot of events, recruiting events, things like networking, resume building, interview tips. So these are all also available online. You don't have to go to campus. So that, for example, in the summer, they have drop-in hours on Zoom, so you can talk to a career counselor whenever is kind of convenient for you. So we're really able to provide these services all completely online, just because GGU has been teaching and helping students across the country in a virtual environment for so long. So that's kind of why this pandemic situation hasn't really shocked us. We've already kind of laid the groundwork for working as a virtual university. Tutoring, so if you've not been in classes for a long time, we understand. If you haven't been in an academic environment and had to do homework in a while, we understand. So we have tutoring services. They are either drop-in or by appointment, and they primarily are for math and English. So we have a writing lab. We have math tutors for accounting students. There's also accounting tutors. So you'll learn more about those. And that's one of our really awesome resources that we have. 24/7 tech support for our e-learning portal if you have problems using the e-learning site, which is also called Moodle. Disability services. This department is making sure that all students have the access they need in order to take advantage of all of our services. Success coaching. So different kind of not just advising, but if you have specific obstacles that might be stopping you from getting assignments in on time, and maybe you need some extra support or direction, success coaching might be an option for you. We have a really great new mentorship program. It's called GGU Connect. And this is a kind of a website. It's kind of like a walled garden of LinkedIn just for GGU students, alums, and contacts, for example, in corporations in the area. And this is a great way to kind of learn about a new career that you might be thinking of, talk to someone in a company that you've had your eye on, and kind of learn more about their job and what they're doing. So really great service. And finally, library and research. So they're all available online. Again, you can use the full database of services. And really, we have a great staff of research librarians who can help you, find something you need if you can't find it just on Google, for example. All right, so I mentioned earlier, you can transfer associate's degrees from California community colleges through our ADT Transfer Pathway. When you do that, you then are paying $300 per unit at Golden Gate University. So different ADTs map to different degrees, as you can see here, except for the BA in Organizational Leadership, which you can transfer in any ADT. So important thing to know for this is if you're at a community college now and planning to partake in this, you want to make sure that you are already in an ADT kind of track in that community college to make sure you're taking the right courses. So you might need to make sure you're doing that with your academic advisor at the community college. All right, we also have a partnership with study.comm. So I'm going to jump ahead so you can kind of see what that is. So study.comm is an online learning platform which has over 200 college credit transferable courses. Most of their courses are made up of short video lessons that you can take anytime, anywhere, on your phone, on your laptop, tablet. So it's asynchronous. You're not needing to attend at any time. And you can take a lot of prerequisites, for example, for some of our degrees, and then transfer them to Golden Gate University, and then again pay that reduced tuition fee by transferring in units for study.comm. So you can take up to 90 units with them, 90 credits. Or if you're bringing in other credits, you can just take, for example, 10. So this is a good way to make your degree cheaper, obviously, and also finish it faster and finish it on your timeline. So once you have at least 60 units, then you're able to transfer those in, and you can continue taking the study.comm courses while you are at GGU. So it's not one and then the other. They can be overlapping. Once you complete at least 60 units, then you can partake in this program. All right, some other transfer credit partners we have, onlinedegrees.com, Sailor Academy, sailor.org. So these sites also offer transferable credit courses. They don't have as big a catalog as study.com, but they have the added benefit of their courses being free, which is very, very appealing for some people. So if you're interested in that, check those sites out. Talk to your enrollment counselor, tell them that that's kind of what you're planning to do. And all of these courses are approved by the ACE Transfer Credit Network. That's how we know that we accept them at GGU. And if you go to ACE, you can also see the full list of transfer credit partners in there. So we accept any ACE transferable credits. It's just a matter of how they map to your degree program here. So let's kind of jump into that, right? So you want to figure out, based on what credits you're bringing, if you're bringing in credits, you know, which ones map to which courses, and then what do you have left to do? So hopefully some of you maybe have already started this. You create an account at ggu.edu/apply. You'll kind of see the link on our website, on our homepage. First thing you want to do, really, after you complete that application, is order transcripts, because this can take a long time depending on where your credits are. Sometimes it's quick because it's through a database. Other times it might go through snail mail. So for example, someone mentioned they want to start in summer. Our summer C term starts July 1st, which is just in a few weeks. So you're gonna, for example, want to do this today if you have transcripts that you need to order in order to start in the summer, because if it takes a couple weeks, well, we got to have those in. In certain cases, there's ways that you can start certain courses without having all your official transcripts in. So if you want to learn more about that, talk to your admissions counselor. Once you have everything in, you'll get an admissions decision in your online account, and then you can start registering. So let's look a little more in detail. So we accept transcripts for VA students, the JST transcript or the CCAF. We also accept CLEP exams, DSST, AP exams, and there's a prior learning assessment, which is a way for students or incoming students to get credit for experience. And this, we're kind of reconfiguring this, but we're looking at different ways, for example, that you might be able to get experience or credits for experience and learning that you obtained in your work in some situations. So that's a possibility in some situations. So how do we decide on your admission? We've make sure you have at least 12 units before you apply to GGU, up to 93. We have your official transcripts. In some cases, unofficial is okay to start, but we need to get the officials in eventually. We come up with a cumulative GPA for you. We just figure out which credits are coming and mapping into GGU and what they're covering in terms of degree requirements. If you're a VA student, the JST or CCAF transcripts. Some students may need to do an English language requirement or a statement of purpose or a resume. This is not required for all students. You'll be able to know once you do your application if this is required. So once we have all your information, we'll do an eval. It's called an evaluation of your transcripts. And this is the process that tells you which credits GGU is accepting, which of those credits will cover for the degree requirements for the degree you're entering or the certificate, and what placement tests that you have to take, if you have to take any. Some students don't need to take any placement tests, but those are important to get you on the right track. So those will be scheduled. We know placement tests are no fun, nobody wants to do them, but it's important to kind of get those out of the way as soon as possible so we can get you into the right English and math course if required for your program. So those are something that some students will need to do, but not all students are required to take placement tests. So new students are enrolled in the UGP-10. It's the gateway to success that all students take in the first term, as well as any other courses that are relevant for your degree or certificate program. There'll be an orientation. So there's an online set of videos that you watch, as well as a live orientation. So you'll get information on that. And then you'll have that meeting I mentioned with your individual academic advisor. So that's kind of you're planning your time at GGU, figure out, you tell them when you want to graduate, how many courses you can take per term, and they'll kind of give you a realistic picture about, what that looks like. And then of course, just plan the courses you're going to take in your first term. All right, so let me touch, so almost at the end, so let me touch briefly on financial aid. So once you are accepted to GGU, you will get a financial aid application that you'll want to fill out for all scholarships and grants. And then there's also the federal application, FAFSA. Our school code is there, 001205. In order to get federal aid, you need to take at least 2 courses per semester. So we're not going to talk about the different grants and scholarships here just because there's a lot and they all apply to different people. So recommend you go to our website, look at the list there, figure out what you might qualify for, and then fill out the FAFSA, because sometimes that can take a while, and just kind of get ahead of that so that you don't miss any deadlines if you're starting soon, which is summer or fall. Okay, quick thing about VA benefits. So for students who plan to use BAH housing allowance, you need to be in certain courses. They either need to be in courses which are designated as in-person, even though they are on Zoom this summer and maybe in the fall, as long as you're in the right course. It's either going to be SF1 in-person, or a blended or a mixed mode course. These all qualify for veteran benefits, BAH. So you want to make sure with your academic advisor that you're registering in the right course to make sure you do qualify. And veteran students are eligible to take these courses on Zoom until the end of the year, I think is the latest deadline they gave, without actually coming on campus while the campus is closed. And then we have another discount for active military students where they can take courses at $250 a unit. And we have a Veterans Affairs representative that you can reach out to for specific questions for VA students, and the email is va@ggu.edu. All right, so this is the last slide. This is our enrollment team. You see the letters after the name. So if your last name starts with A to D, Victoria would be your enrollment counselor, and Claudine for L to Q, Abigail for E to K, and Bin for R to Z. So there's their email and phone. You can reach out to them. But first we're gonna stop and take any questions now that you might have. So go ahead, unmute yourself or type into the chat. I know there's some questions going on already. Or maybe they've all been answered.
Yes, Liam, I was able to answer, I think, most of the questions that was answered in the chat.
Oh, man, you're no fun. So
But yeah.
You did all the hard work. Okay. Well, thanks, Ben. Oh, here's one. Okay, I can answer this. When do fall classes begin? Actually, I know the summer ends August 22nd. Actually, Ben, when is the exact date for fall?
I think it would be the early September. Let me double check.
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't remember the exact day.
So the period will start on September 6th for fall 2020.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jennifer, September 6th was the answer. Yeah, so again, we're still waiting to hear if we will open the campus in the fall or if we will have classes online. As soon as we know, we'll be able to tell you that for sure. Ooh, is it too late for summer classes?
So the summer C term classes will start on July 1st. It is cutting pretty close, but we can still enroll for the summer C term if you are working with the enrollment counselor. That will be Claudine. I will have her reach out to you if you're interested in the summer C term. That will start on July 1st with all the steps that needed. As long as you complete all the admission requirement, the admission decision would be able to come to you at about 5 to 7 business days. So we still have some time.
Yeah, you'll definitely want to get on the ball for summer soon, for summer C term, but it is possible.
Yes.
All right, any other questions out there? So again, you'll get an email with a link to the recording and application waiver code. All right, so thank you everyone for attending. Hope this was useful. And we do these webinars every 2 weeks in case you want to come back. You can register again, that's totally fine. Otherwise, hope to see you on campus soon. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and take care.